This is the Weigh-In Podcast by Benoit Chestnut and normally Sebastian Romero. On this week's Weigh-In, well, before we get into that, we will break apart this. We will jump into first, as you all already see, the folding chair is gone. We've got a new chair on the set for me, and this sits great, feels great. Now, amidst that, let's get into what today's episode is going to be about. Today's episode is going to be about Gerard Ennis Boots versus Immaculate Stanton. Fight card is going to take place in Atlantic City. So we've got a unification bout coming. And then on the other side of the sports world, we're going to bring up that UFC 214, Volkanovski versus Lopez, because that is stacked. Now, we'll save the second half for our boxing boys with Gerard and his boots. Now, if we talk about that Volkanovski matchup, I think when we talk about Volkanovski versus Diego Lopez, we talk about Volkanovski Lopez. I very well think, when you look at these lines up, the odds are on Volkanovski to win, but not by a lot. We've got negative 125 Volkanovski and plus 105 according to Score Mobile. So for Diego Lopez, when we look at this and we talk about this event, the magnitude of this going on, Volkanovski is trying to make his way back to being where he was before. And when you look at that, you say, okay, but that's not even the highlight of this card. Now, if we stack this card up, right after, we got Michael Chandler, Paddy Pimblett. Now, that's going to be something good. And just if that isn't enough for you, it's just absolutely, I think I'm going to give Dana White some credit here. That 1-2 of this card, that Michael Chandler, Paddy Pimblett, I like it. Volkanovski, Diego Lopez, I like it. I like how he lined up. That's going to be some good to co-main. I'm telling you, it's going to look good. It's going to look good. It's going to look good because Volkanovski is trying to make his way back to being, what he used to be. And that is being a champion, a title contender. So when you talk about Volkanovski the way we do, I think that we're talking about somebody who is going to be really well, who has the greatness to go back to where he needs to be. And that's what I think. So that card is going to take place also on Saturday, 10 p.m. So, all times are Eastern. And this is gonna look good. This is gonna look very good. Volkanovski getting back in. I always like to see him fight. It's always nice fireworks. Nice fireworks for Volkanovski. And this is gonna be good. This is gonna be good. This is gonna be good. And I'm gonna tell you why this is gonna be good. Because you know why this is gonna be good? Because I think Volkanovski is very great, and I think this is gonna come back. and this could bring back another title for him. I think this is going to be very interesting when you come talk about Volkanovski. I think, that's going to be a huge card. That's going to be huge when you talk about Volkanovski because when you look at that featherweight weight class, we're going to pull up that featherweight ranking and we're going to gouge that featherweight weight class. Like, we're going to gouge featherweight weight class because it is stacked. And that ain't nothing but the truth. So as we get into this, okay, we got Topor with the belt. We got Volkanovski as the number 1 rank. We got Max Holloway the 2. We got 3 Diego Lopez. We got 4 Manzal Evo. Ward Rodriguez, Brian Ortega. Let's just talk about this top. This top. Let's talk about this top right now. You got Volkanovski. You got Max Holloway. man, Max Holloway is really good. And then you got Yazer Rodriguez. We got this Diego Lopez coming up. I think that if Lopez wants that title shot against Tapora, he's got to show he wants it. He's got to show he's here to do it. Now, if we talk about that lightweight, that Michael Chandler, Patty Pemlet, because we need to douse things. Patty Pemlet is very well a star right now. The way Patty Pemlet is coming out, it's not just about the how fast he knocks him out. It's in the fact of some of those knockouts. Patty Pemlet is a guy that is just now at lightweight. We all know Hamza Chimaev at the belt. I don't think there's going to be any that beats Hamza because Hamza looks really good. He's very great on the ground, and he's not a guy you want to get on the ground with. Now, with that being said, we got Charles do Bronx Oliveira at 2. We got Arman Turkisyan at 1. We got Justin Gaethje at 2. And then here on the UFC website, they got Max Holloway at the 4. So they got all Max up there twice. All right, at 5, we got Dustin Poirier. My bad, Dustin Poirier. We got Dan Hooker at 5. At 6. 7, we got Michael Chandler. Now, Patty Pemlet is at 12. If he could take out Chandler, he's going to jump a few spots because you look at that. So, obviously you're going to, the end goal is you're going to end up against Hamza Chimaev. And I don't think, any realistic in the top 5 at least sit to take out Hamza. He looks really good. He's looked really good since he beat Charles Oliveira. That's just nothing but the case here. He's looked really good, and I just don't think somebody coming up against Hamza is going to be able to do it. I just don't. You're going to have to really catch him. A lot of us said it. When we talked about Leon. Leon Edwards. When Leon Edwards got his stuff done. That was one thing that we talked about. That that when we talked about it, that was one thing that we talked about. And when we talked about Leon, I don't think we might have not. It just we talk about his last fight not so well. I think what's to talk about more is that Sean Brady, because he's looking good. He's we talk about Sean Brady. Sean Brady's 18-1. I think he may very well see Sean Brady up there in some big fights. So when we talk about Leon Edwards beat Kamal Usman, and nobody thought that was going to happen. So when Kamal Usman lost, let's just doubt here. Nobody ever expected it. So I'm saying if you think you're going to beat Hamza Chimaev, it's not going to be something. It's not going to be something where you say, "Hey, I can see this victory before the fight." No, you're not going to see the victory. This is going to be something that you're not going to see until after. I'm telling you right now, you're not going to see that until after. This is something like, if it happens, it's going to be a shocker in the moment. Because that is one tough dude right there. Hamza Chimaev. I just don't see that top 5 without it being something that's upset. Before the night, I don't see it. I really don't. I really don't see it. And that just goes to the nature that, I'm not saying that it isn't going to happen or it can't. I'm saying I don't see it. And that's one thing that we say, Leon Edwards was a great fighter. He knocked out Kamal. He beat Kamal again after that. Then he beat Cody Covington. Then, since now, he's lost 2 fights. And I think now when we talk about, who he lost to, Sean Brady, who is member of Reno Gracie Philly. So you talk about he's another Philly boy, drawn in his boots. Philly. So now we talking about them Philly brothers. We talking about Philadelphia, and I say that because they call it the city of brotherly love. So we talking about a lot of Philadelphia boys. So when we go down Sean Brady, here's the interesting part. Muhammad, we're just gonna go across here. Muhammad beat Sean Brady, but Muhammad was also the same person to beat Leon Edwards. Ooh, yeah. So now you say, okay, does Brady have it in him to get the revenge over Muhammad? Yeah, because that's what we talked about. We talked about Sean O'Malley lost to Malo Vernon. Second time when they went, belts on the line, Malley didn't lose. So we talk about, okay, those revenge fights. I call them revenge fights because they're the number twos. So you lose once, you fight again. That old the Conor McGregor of the thing. You lose once, you fight again, kind of thing. So with that being said, with these revenge fights, you lose once, fight again. I kind of think here we're gonna speculate. We're gonna speculate, and when we speculate here, Gerard, when we speculate here, I kind of always give that fighter that lost the first time the chance in the number two, but that's not always the case. But Kamal Usman, I gave him a chance. He still lost against Leon Edwards. That's just one way to go about it. But you know, that's some of that weight classing. And when we talk about Paddy Pimblett, I think Paddy Pimblett can beat Michael Chandler. I do. Paddy Pimblett's got the odds. It's more mobile. Paddy Pimblett's 155. Michael Chandler's plus 130. So you look at the odds are saying Paddy Pimblett. And I agree. I agree that Paddy Pimblett's gonna. I think Paddy Pimblett's gonna take care of business. You know, he's a very crowd oriented dude. As in, I mean, he's a fire for that loud noise. He's a fire for getting the guys together. He's a fire for saying, hey, you know, I'm gonna do something. I'm gonna do this, and I'm gonna do it. This is the same thing we talked of when you talk about Conor McGregor. You know, he said, I'm gonna. He backed up. He said he was gonna beat Jose Aldo, and he went in there. He beat Jose Aldo. When we talk about Paddy Pimblett, it's kind of something similar. Like we got Paddy Pimblett says, I can beat you. I can do this. I can do that. That's great. Now, the one thing we want to talk about here is for us, for the wrestlers on here, we have been asked this, how's our boy Bo Nickel doing? Now, Bo Nickel, we're gonna go ahead and find out about our boy Bo and where does Bo Nickel stand. Now, if we talk about Bo's next fight is Saturday, May 3rd. He'll be the co-main, and he's facing Rainier D. Ryder. Rainier D. Ryder is 19-2, Bo Nickel 7-0. There's just no better way to say it. Bo Nickel is good, hands down. Bo Nickel's good. So when we talk about that Bo Nickel, we talk about a guy that really. So Bo Nickel is a middleweight. So let's go ahead. Let's pull up that middleweight ranking, and we're gonna see where Bo Nickel lands. So that's Duplessis is the champ. So when we talk about that middleweight, we got Sean Strickland. So let's see. You know what? I think I'm gonna ding myself here and say Islam Chumayev was who I was trying to talk about before, not Hamzov. I got it incorrect. I believe. I believe I confused the two Chumayevs. I believe I did. But we're going to double check right now to make sure I did not confuse the two Chimaevs. But as we're going in, as our boy Bo Nickel, our brother Bo Nickel is an amazing fighter. Bo Nickel is an amazing guy. No, I did not confuse the two guys. I was talking about Hamzat. So if we're gonna just dabble back, that we did get that correct. If we're gonna dabble back, our boy Bo Nickel. So right now, they don't have him up on the UFC website for middleweights, which I don't agree. I don't agree. I think Bo Nickel's got some power. I think he deserves to be up there. No, I think my boy. So let's see here. ESPN's got a ranking, and we can sure check theirs for our boy Bo. So as we look for that, we're gonna take a look at some of this MMA. This MMA. So there's no find of old Nickel. No find of the Nickel, but I think Bo Nickel's got a title coming his way in the near future, and there's no way he doesn't. You know. But with that being said, covering our Nickel boy, we get over back to that Paddy Pimblett. I think Paddy Pimblett. Like I said, we're talking about like similar to Conor McGregor when we talk about Paddy Pimblett. So I think that's definitely a good talk for Paddy Pimblett. I definitely think that's the case. When we talk about Paddy Pimblett, when we talk about that Paddy Pimblett, that's what I think is a good way to say a way to go. We talk about Paddy Pimblett. Now, that's all our UFC talk for today. We're gonna jump back in to our Jerron Ennis Boots, the other Philly boy. Now, let me tell you something. Let me tell you something. The IBF and the WBA are on the line. So on this podcast, we got a gnat for these wanting to become undisputed. Gerard and his boots is on his way. And let me tell you something. Let me tell you something. I got boots in that fight. Gerard Ennis. I got Gerard for that fight. No way I don't. You know, he don't play with his food much. He get in there, he get out. He get in there, he get out. He does what he's got to do. And if he could snatch that WBA, he's gonna be looking good because now we're talking two more left. And this is when it gets good now. Because when a guy's coming, listen, I say it's good for two reasons. When a guy has two belts and you go to get a third, now you have three belts. It gets amazing, perfect. When you go for that last belt, that's always good fight. I'm gonna tell you why. You get beat, now that belt, now the other person's undisputed. So it's what I'm telling you that when he go for that last belt, that's gonna be the good fight. That's gonna be the good fight for Jerron Ennis. But what he's got to do first is get through what's in front of him. He's got to get through what's in front of him first before he starts doing anything else. Because if you don't worry about what's in front of you, you all know what happens. You lose. You got to worry about what's in front of you. That was always taught to me. Worry about what's in front of you. Like when you go to a tournament, I don't care who you're going to have in 3-4 matches. Who do you have now? That's who you need to be focused on. Your now, not your after. Your now. So for Gerard and its boots, this fight this Saturday, focus on it, win, and it's in Boardwalk Hall. You can't get better than that. Having a nice fight in Boardwalk Hall, you know, that's been host of some really good boxing fights over the years. I think this is just going to add to its resume. Another good boxing match there for Boardwalk Hall. So, this Gerard and his boots fight going to look good. It's going to look good. Now, if we can get you some odds on what that looks like, we're going to get you some odds on what that fight's going to look like. Now, then we'll be talking. So let's see what odds I can get for you on that Gerard Ennis boots fight. So let's see if we could I'll go ahead and see who's got the odds here, because this is going to be a good fight. This is going to be good. And to have it in Atlantic City, So let's see who's got what. So let's see who's got what. So as we're looking for it, it's going to be on Days In. So if you don't got the zone, you better get the zone. If you know what I mean. If you don't have the zone, get your the zone. Because that's going to be good. That zone going to be good. So let's talk some of these odds here. Let's see. As I'm looking for them for you. So I'm looking for them odds for you. So as I'm looking for you, looking for you. Let's see. But with that being said, I do think Gerard Ennis it's his fight. There's no way Gerard Ennis doesn't win that fight. You know what I mean? So as I'm trying to take a look for this, we're gonna see what's going on with our boy Gerard Ennis boots. But with that being said, I think it's a megastar for a matchup. I think it's exactly what we need from it. It's exactly what we like about it. I think it's a really good matchup. Now, I don't think it's a matchup Boots loses, but I'm still going to tell you it's going to be good. It's going to be good regardless of the contrary. I think it's a good. So if we look for you, we're going to see what we can get for you. Okay. We got Gerard and it's -700, and we got in Estantis plus 450. That should tell you right there. Like I've been saying, boots all the way. So now you look, every odds is on boots. Underdog is Estantis. You know, and that's something that's going to look really, really good. For boots. It's going to look really good. And that's why I'm saying this is going to look good for our boy Boots. So it's gonna look nice for our boy. But that's a good fight right there. That's a good fight right there, brother. And I say that because, that fight is gonna be a difference maker. It's gonna be the change of a movement because Gerard and his boots, in all likelihood is going to become undisputed. You look at when you talk about that Gerard Ennis is doing exactly what he wants and needs to do. That's something that is really good for Gerard. He's looking good. He's got another fight coming up now. He's doing what he needs to do to look good and be better about this. You know, that's the thing that I like about Gerard Ennis. He's looking really good. This is something where he's gonna take what he needs to do. So when we're gonna pull up a boxing ranking, because Gerard Ennis is a welterweight, so we're gonna pull up that boxing ranking so we could see how our boy Gerard's gonna fare out against the rest of that weight class, them title contenders. So when we talk about this welterweight, let me go ahead and get the welterweight. Now look, man. We talk about that welterweight. Okay, we got. Okay, let's see. No, this ain't really. Yeah, let me find another site for y'all, cause this ain't really telling me who got them belts. You feel me? We need to know them belts. You feel me? Oh, this is it. This is it. Yeah, yeah, I'm on. This is it. This is it. I got you. We gonna find it now. Yeah. Okay. Okay. IBF Dry Ennis. WBA Stantis. We know that's going against. Now WBC we got Mario Barrios. And on WBO, we got Brian Norman. So when we talk about this, listen, I'm gonna give it to y'all straight. Devin Haney's on this list. I'm sorry, Devin Haney, you can't beat Gerard in his boots. You're not gonna beat boots. Couldn't even get through Ryan Garcia. Regardless of the contrary, you couldn't get through Ryan Garcia. Now, Ryan Garcia is also on this list. So I would like to see Gerard Ennis Garcia, Gerard Ennis Haney. Although I don't think both of them could win. I don't think either of them's gonna be boots. But I still like to see the fight. So, that's something I would like to see in terms of, the boxing, in terms of that. I wish Gerard and his boots the luck in his upcoming fight, you know. So that's done. So that's good. But with that being said, that is gonna be this week. With that being said, this is this week's episode. As we always say, like, comment, subscribe, share. We put these episodes out for you guys, and we are 4 months in to the new year, and we are still continuing our streak, still getting it after it. If you missed it in the beginning, for the guys that skipped, got the Secret Lab Assassin's Creed chair, new chair on the set, as I call this my set. My room, my set. New chair on the set. Continuing the streak, getting videos out for you guys, and I think at this point, you could already understand this isn't going to be like previous years. We get you 4 or 5 and it stops. This is the legit show that we are getting videos out every week, every Tuesday, every Thursday at 7 p.m. That video drop. Occasionally it'll drop at like 10 p.m. or even like 12, which ends up the next day. But consistently, since the start of the year, there have been 2 videos every week. So for you guys. So with that being said, this is this week's weigh-in by Benoit Chestnut and normally Sebastian Romero. But we'll return to our regularly scheduled program next week. This is the weigh-in out.
The weigh-in where stories ignite.